But
issue.
yes, Godzilla -1 has won an Oscar, which is, I think, the only Godzilla
Well,
movie that's ever won an Oscar.
probably also rightfully so. Was it in the effects category? Was it in the
Yes,
effects category?
yes, it was
Yeah,
for
rightfully
special
so. So
effects.
I did see some behind the scenes videos of how they did this with such a low budget. There is a shit ton of CGI, but they did it the right way where the CGI, it's not just creating shit out of whole cloth. It's enhancing what they did. And like the ship coming into the harbor where they had a frame with people on the pier and then they had the people on the ship were a whole different shot, and then for the close up they had to, like, the people acted like the ship was moving when it really wasn't, or everything was great though.
Acting?
It really
There was
was.
acting in a movie?
There was acting in a Godzilla movie.
There may be a movie we talk about later that needed some of that. Got him! I got him! I got him. Sorry, not
Uh,
sorry.
yeah, you got them. I don't know which. Not sure which movie you're talking
Oh,
about.
oh, we'll get there.
Neither of the ones I watched this week.
Involved acting? Acting? I can't even say
Five
acting.
stars. 5 stars. No notes.
Well, one of them I can understand. But
Uh,
two of them,
F
I don't.
or Chris. Have you guys watched? You guys watched Godzilla -1 yet? Though.
No.
But before we move up,
I'm American, Dave. We don't get Godzilla here.
we sure do. I think they're releasing the Godzilla -1 minus color version, right?
What is that?
Or it's the black. It's going to
Godzilla
be the
for Justice?
cut.
The Zack Snyder?
Snyder cut. Yeah, it's just black and white with fucking opera music, but yeah,
Okay.
it really was good. And like, kaiju are not Stella's movie, but her and Jackie and maybe a young man of about 50 who took them to the theater to watch it. Maybe everybody teared up just a little bit.
When Mothra
So,
showed up. Come back,
no,
Mothra! Biodome? Jeff, you seen Biodome?
Yeah, Biodome.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
the best movie of all time? I don't know.
But
That's
next
like movie of all time.
we got Clive Barker is done with appearances at conventions and stuff because he wants to write. When I first read the headline, I'm like, oh shit, he's dying. Because he sounded like shit 20 years ago. But I'm pretty sure he's chain smokes cigars, or used to. And so I took that headline at pretty much face value, like, well, he had a good run. But
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for
next week. Next week is Days of the Dead Chicago, which is, I don't know if it's for sure his last appearance, but it's for sure one of his last appearances. So if you guys are Clive Barker fans, you might want to go. If you want to hear him talk like the opposite of Tiny Tim, which is just smoke.
Oh my goodness. Guys. Road trip next weekend, man. How are we going to miss seeing Clive Barker? And this would be the perfect time to pass him my Nightbreed TV series script.
That you finished it?
Chris and I have talked about it for a while, so I feel like that's almost the same as finishing it. It's almost starting, almost finishing.
Mr. Barker, we got a script for you. He's like, I don't usually take them, but I'll make one exception for you guys since it's my last appearance.
Okay.
And then we're like, we've not technically wrote it yet. You fucking crazy old man.
Somebody give me a napkin and a pen. Let me write this shit down. Chris, take your shirt off and turn around. Let me write this on your fucking back.
And next, well, another thing actually. We'll get to that next. But next, immediate next. Now, I guess is the correct thing.
Now.
Halloween TV series.
1, 2, 3 now.
There's a little bit of news about that. DGG, after he did what he did, they are ready to start making little bunny off of Mikey Myers again, as one does. But they don't have anything planned yet. They basically just said, "Oh yeah, we're making a TV show for what the fuck is it? Worldwide television at Miramax." Ever heard of that in your life?
I mean, I heard of Miramax.
But not worldwide television at Miramax?
That surely is just like the television arm of Miramax.
Yeah, but I mean,
Studios.
they've put out all of the bangers, like Halloween TV series.
You got to start somewhere. Could be worse. They could be like, we sold the rights to Scary Madison.
Slow down.
So you could have Adam Sandler directing the Halloween TV series.
And finally,
I did hear that it was. Is it a total reboot? But they're going to focus on some different people. So, yeah, I don't like different characters, which that's great. Leave Laurie Strode out of it. Yeah. Leave Michael Myers out of it. No, I'm just kidding.
The usual going back to the original film, ignoring the sequels. I mean, I can understand why you would want to, but I think it would be cooler to not ignore them, just for chaos.
So it's just going to go back to his original idea, like Halloween, and then Halloween 3, and then just keep doing other like movies about Halloween, but nothing about Michael Myers.
Yeah.
How about a TV series?
I would be
Halloween,
way more interested.
the Halloween 3 timeline.
Yeah.
I'd be in that.
Tommy Atkins just trying to pick up ladies at bars.
And then you can introduce Mike Myers as like an anti-hero. He's actually trying to save the world by stopping the Silver Shamrock Company. And he wears a cape.
Hey.
So I'm really into capes right now. This is a fashion choice that should be brought back. It may have something to do with health. I'm going to buy a cape.
I'm there for it. I mean, I'm there for it for you. Live your truth. All of the Justice League didn't wear capes, Dave. I'm just saying.
No. Yeah.
So,
not everybody could fly either.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
Do you have to have a cape?
Can't fly if you don't have a cape. No, it's the cape. It's the cape. Have you never ever seen Greatest American Hero? I know you have, so that's a rhetorical question.
Last bit of news. Neve Campbell is back for Scream 12? 17? Which one are we on? Scream
32. 7, 8.
2 Neve, 2 Campbell.
If you are a fan of the Scream franchise and just waiting for something else to come, this is great news because everybody else has dropped out in fucking protest. Yeah. So Scream 7, An Evening with Neve Campbell. It's just
that could you're speaking truth onto the world, Dave.
Just her sitting in a theater on a chair.
Every now and then she screams.
chain smoking and screaming.
Okay. For everybody watching, we're going to actually be talking about some movies tonight, like we usually do. We've not done it yet during our live stream era, but tonight we are getting back into that. And to make it absolutely easier on us all, we've chosen 2 movies. And we've let Jeff pick his first movie for Horror House. Did you pick The Fly? or did we pick those?
Did we thrust it on you?
What about Man with the X-Ray Eyes? Did you pick that?
I chose that one.
Okay.
Okay. Doctor.
Get out of here, woman. You're not a doctor.
I am a doctor, but I'm a woman.
Leave anyway, woman. Doctor woman. God, I forgot about that.
Classic. That was a classic episode.
That was an early episode too, wasn't it? That was like one of the first 10. I would bet. Not money, but like high fives.
I'll bet you 2 high fives.
But we are going to be talking about The Horde, 2009, a little French ditty, and we're going to be talking about Jeff's pick. God damn it, Jeff's pick. Tell him, Jeff. You tell him what you have picked, and maybe tell him why you picked it, if you have any reason you picked it.
Get Out. And I was actually told that someone had a better idea for a movie pick than I did. So that's why I went with it.
I was taking the joke. Nobody went with it. Dave, you should have got up and left too. For future
I missed my opportunity.
But so spoilers aplenty for both these films. If you don't want spoilers, go watch them and come back real quick. Watch them on like 4 times speed. That's probably something you can do.
Right.
Subtitles are gonna fucking suck though. I have a feeling.
The Horde is 2009. Get Out is 2017. So even the newest movie of these two is 6 fucking years old. What are you doing with your life?
People don't like the spoilers, man. You gotta just.
That's fine, but you can't like be glad if something gets spoiled 6 fucking years later. Like my dad went out to get milk, and I waited for him, and I would watch the 1985 Super Bowl because he was going out to get milk, and he never came back. I still don't know who won.
Well. So, which would you guys rather talk about first?
Let's do it by age. Let's do the Horde first.
Okay.
You know I'm a big Jordan Peele stan here, so
yes, I have a still image of my face to put up when you get going. That way I can get out while you talk. How about Get Out? I should have told Jeff about this earlier.
How about you get in to the cool kids group that likes Get Out and Jordan Peele?
No, I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying you really like it.
Get Out is not my favorite of the Jordan Peele movies yet. Get Out is not my favorite. That would be Us. So
we're a Jordan Peele movie,
but I do.
I got Jordan Peele jokes for days. Leave your tips, your subscriptions. We'll thank everybody at the end. Jeff, you have authority to fight.
While you're at, when you buy your Twitch, use code Whorehouse3.
Get your Twitch bucks, and then you can
support the show at the same time.
All right, the Horde. Who wants to dive into it first? Who wants to just get into it? Whatever you want to talk about. Where do we jump all over the place?
I'll jump in. Apparently, there's a short film that explains the death of the dude at the start. I don't even know his name because he's unfucking important. Fucky.
There was
that dude.
Yeah. Even though this whole plot really relied on him setting it up, like all of that.
He set it up with his dead body.
I did have that in my notes. There's apparently a prequel, prequel?
Or short.
A pre-sequel?
Yeah.
Was it? I don't know. And I'm like, that's cool for it. I don't think I'll get to that.
No, IMDb makes it sound like people were confused when it came out because like it didn't go anywhere, and they're like, what is the point of this? It's for this other entire movie. So,
I think it didn't
yeah,
say anything about the
unnecessary.
zombies at all.
Did it have anything to do with the zombies?
I did not watch it, but I don't believe so.
That's a weird. That'll get into one of my major complaints about the movie. But I'll save too much negativity don't want to front load with the bad stuff. But continue.
So we get the funeral. We get Kasim. Kasim is the only person's name. What, Bola and the gang leader
Adewale. Well, yeah.
Adewale.
Because that's the name of an Assassin's Creed character from Black Flag. His first mate. He's a big black guy too. I would not fuck with either one of them. They may have. I don't know which one came first.
I did Judy Chop.
How did you guys feel about the funeral? That's the first funeral I've ever seen where nobody was crying or sad. I'm like, what is
They're hell bent on revenge.
There were some mad people.
There was some angry people, annoyed. I'm like,
yeah.
Damn, why'd you even come? If that's what my funeral's going to be like, I don't know that I'm going to go. That's kind of bullshit.
They were like, man, that motherfucker owed me $10.
He made my wife pregnant. Maybe? I wasn't. Did either of you get clarification on whether what was her name?
Aurora.
Which reminds me of that TikTok video of the girl talking to the dog, and she's like, "My name's or I'm from Aurora," and then the dog barks Aurora back to her. Anybody? No. Anyways, but was she pregnant or was she not pregnant? Because I wasn't. They brought it up, I think, once, maybe twice, and I'm like,
I think it came up. I don't know if she's pregnant. I don't know whose kid it is if she is. I think the dead guy was her husband, but it seemed like she was fucking everyone else.
Oh, I thought the dead guy was the guy she was cheating with. And
which one was her husband then?
I fuck. I thought Friendship Venafrio, the one guy that dies first, I thought he was her husband and that she had cheated on him with the dead guy. But I don't have proof.
Yeah, I don't think it was very coherent. This could be me.
One guy yelling at her.
Jeff, how are you feeling this far into the movie? What are your thoughts? Get in there.
Oh, this far in the movie, I just didn't have any really opinion. I was trying to read all the subtitles and figure out what was going on. And...
Readings for squares. What is this? That's how I felt too. Did you guys know this was a zombie movie going into it?
You mentioned it last week, so
I didn't remember if it was. I know that it gives the image of kind of a zombie flick, but getting into it, I started thinking, I'm like, maybe this isn't a zombie flick. This is a lot of cop shit going on right now. I don't. So when it finally did delve into that, I'm like, well, okay. But
even the cop shit is weird though, because they're not good cops, and I don't mean like they're just bad cops. I mean they're just not good at what they do. Whether that's being bad or being good, they're not good at it. So I got a problem with them. And this neighborhood, man, this is a tough apartment building, but they're going to shoot the first guy, the lookout, which would alert everybody. So that was dumb. Then Kasim is like, no bloodshed, and runs up and fucking throat chucks him with the fucking pistol. Then they kill him anyway. So again, okay, so you're bad cops. Kasim maybe is the only one redeemable. I got problems with that later even. So the zombie thing does come out of nowhere. There's no no hint. It would have been cool if they showed a little something, or somebody stumbling around in the dark when they first walk up to the apartment building, and then, oh, that was your first clue that there's a zombie. No, nothing.
Right. Something going on. You don't have to go into it, because if you were in that situation, you wouldn't know what was going on in the world. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. You can always add something at the end, or just nothing at all. But yeah, there's no hint. I think one point they said something about something going on outside, but that was before the zombie thing started. So I was really like, is this part of it? I'm confused on that.
It was weird. It came out of nowhere. They have the people in the apartment building seem like they're fed up with the gangsters, because the one dude is like, use my shotgun.
The super.
Yes. And then he, like, when he gets killed, because the gunfight is coming out into the street, out into the hallway, and he's like, I'll pump you full of lead, instead of just doing it.
Right.
Like, just shoot him. You don't have to announce yourself. Like, so. Yeah, you deserve to die, dude.
The super just screwed everything up. They're trying to blow the door open. Then the gangster comes out, shoots people, door explodes. The guy by the door gets blown up.
It's fucked up. It is fucked up. When the shot came through the door and shot the first cop, I was a little bit like, okay, we might be in for a ride here, but
right.
that was okay to me. That seemed okay to me. I thought I was kind of entertained. What about Europe? Is far more of a diverse community than the United States. I mean, this gang clearly has a DEI program that is rivaled by none. They've got Africans. They've got.
I do believe Dave has died.
I think so, unless he just froze the screen like he usually does.
Well, he was talking about equality programs in France, I think. So I am waiting for my wife, who just got home from work, to get her stuff from the bedroom and all that. So, Dave, are you alive?
See, it might be.
Did you get struck by lightning?
I don't think so. I think I'm still alive. I think I'm still here. You dropped out for us for a minute. And then for me, Jeff froze for a minute. So a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're going to still power on. Chris, to catch you up, we're talking about the.
I'm all there. Just keep your conversation going. I'm still on track.
What a positive force in the community this gang is by being so diverse. They could have been like, no, this is an African gang, and we're keeping the Irish carnies out. No, come on in. Bring Asian people, bring them in. Everybody can find a spot in this game. So that was a positive for me. But the zombies, man, the 1 second the zombies, Jeff and I talked about this pre-show. 1 second the zombies can grab a guy and break a neck like that. Yeah. And then the next, the carny is like hand-to-hand combat with two of them, stabs the shit out of them, and two more come up, and he's kicking their ass too. So they're kind of power sets all over the place.
Right. If it was The Walking Dead, they would have their arm ripped off or bitten into instantly, but all of a sudden they were just one hand-to-hand combat with them, just beating the crap out of them. It was kind of funny.
How quickly, if there was a zombie outbreak in a hostage situation between cops and gang members,
Is this realistic that 3 minutes later you guys are on the same side?
No.
Because I don't think so. Not if you're out for blood. Like I don't feel like that's how that would work. So, what about the makeup effect of the zombies, Jeff? What did you think of them? And let's separate the gore effect from the zombie makeup.
I mean, I didn't cross my mind. I didn't really think it was that bad. I've seen
I thought it
worse
was
in
pretty
other
good.
movies where it's like, oh, that looks really fake, but a lot of it seemed to be really fast. I don't think they really
Mhm.
focused on the zombies that much, other than like the um, CI, but he had like a plastic bag over his head. So
That really ended up looking pretty cool. Where it was kind of torn away, so you could see his mouth, but the rest that could be horror movie type shit. That could have been
yeah,
a new Cenobite. It's Trash Baggio, the Cenobite. You know, he.
right. I thought he was gonna be like the boss or something. Like, oh, he's gonna escape. Get him later.
Oh, I agree. I thought most of the zombie effects were really good. I thought most of the gore was pretty good. It, the Later on, I'm going to jump ahead just because I'm talking about the makeup. Aurora when her face is and stuff. So I thought it looks pretty solid. So it could have been a little bit wetter. It was a little bit dry, and fans of the horror house know how much we like our effects to be a little bit wet. But that was really the only situation where I thought the effects looked dried out and didn't think they looked super realistic. But I thought it still looked pretty good.
Can't hear you, Chris.
Rick,
Oh,
we cannot hear you.
that was my.
There
I
we go.
mute myself with this. The zombie makeup is one of my bigger complaints, other than the story. I did not like the zombie makeup at all. They're bloody
uh,
faced, mostly, and bloody hands. But like their clothes, I know it just happened, which is another complaint. How is there 4 billion zombies at the snap of a?
yeah,
That's some Walking Dead
That
shit.
that is
that is.
yeah, that is on my list. That is on my list as a complaint of in a desolate apartment building because there's not very many living people in this damn apartment building.
Yeah,
Seems
Right.
like this is an area that's not got a lot of living people, but apparently that was a lie. There are actually 4 billion people within 3 city blocks.
yeah.
I mean, the super said there wasn't that many people living in the building, but that place was infested. So
I would believe that he just didn't know what was happening. Maybe I could maybe buy into that, but at the same time, not really. Um, the the gore effects when they do happen, I thought were fine. Like I mean, the gun stuff was okay. I don't remember missed opportunity, and I think if they hadn't made that other fucking movie for the prequel, they could have had enough money to do it. Is when they have the cop man, main cop man,
Theme,
when he's
theme.
when he's on the car that the zombies are also not able to climb somehow.
yeah, they can reach.
Yeah, like one got up there, I think, and he's like, "Get away, bitch!" And then,
There were like 4 or 5 that were mutants that they had evolved to climb on top of the car, but the
yeah.
rest were just like
But like when they finally get him down, I thought we were gonna have a Captain Rhodes from Day of the Dead moment where they rip him to just shreds.
yeah.
And
I
I'm like,
was looking for
finally,
the
you've got me. You got me right now. I wasn't into that fight, but right now, you win me back over. And then they didn't do it. At the very
I
least,
will
some
say
arms and hands and shit just kind of like get passed back. I don't know.
yeah. I'm with you. When Kasim got bit, since we're here anyway, and let's just jump to this.
Mm-hmm.
It was the cheapest thing in the world. It didn't feel earned. He didn't get his arm bit doing something like Kasim is supposed to be moral compass. He's the Captain America. He's supposed to be the super cop man, and it just felt so cheap that he got bit that way, and it just it lost me for a minute.
Remind me.
But then when
was he
they're
bit
they're
before
in the
he went?
parking garage, and the car's not there. Because the dude with the fat ass wife who's never shown, but he's like, "Oh, my wife is so fat, she's got hands like ham hocks. I know you won't grab her ass."
What a
And everybody found that hilarious.
Well, yeah, we'll come back
But
around on that guy a little bit more.
yeah, there's a lot to say about him. But you get to the parking garage, the car's not there, and so they're trying to close the door because the Horde's closing in on them. So they go to close it, and they just bite him on the arm.
Oh,
It was so anticlimactic.
I didn't think he was. I didn't realize he'd got bit.
That's why he felt okay to sacrifice himself and stay at the end. I think is.
I may have been furiously typing notes at the time. I'm like, the writing. But sticking with him,
strongly worded email to Yannick Dahan.
God bless you. I never met her. When he takes his last stand, right, and starts to be a linebacker or whatever, I'm like,
I was back in.
I was that took me out because I was like, I want to see him like maybe get one, maybe two knock over, and then the rest just like flood over top of him. And he just tears through this horde, like shoulder checking and like punching, and I'm like, you are hero sauced right now. What is going on? And then,
yeah, this is exactly why I was right back in.
Oh, Jeff, how did you feel about that? Be on my side.
You're the tie-breaking vote here, man.
My side. You guys picked Bly Manor last time. You gotta be on my side this time.
I'm on your side.
It was so good. You're right. He becomes linebacker. He's running there and he's boom, fucking shoulder check. Then he hits the one. He's like boom, picks him up, slam, jump up on the car, bam, bam, bam. Why he didn't keep shooting him when he had the chance? Because when he first pulled out the two pistols to dual wield, he shoots like 4 fucking bullets and then goes full linebacker. I was like, yeah, man, yeah, get it. And he's up there, bam, 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 and when that's done, then he hits one with the pistol whip one. Then he's machete, and he's fucking chopping fucking limbs. Reach for me, bitch! Ah, chop that fucking limb. What'd you say? Boom! I saw one of the zombies flip him off. He's like, chop, no more. Yeah, no.
You're having your mic panic attacks right now.
I was all in. Kasim. I was like, yeah, Kasim, you get it, man. I knew he was going to die, and that's okay. I would have been upset if somehow he found his way out of that, because that's ridiculous.
That's some fucking dead shit.
Body checking, yeah, shoulder checking 10 zombies before you plow one, and then hand-to-hand combat for a while on top of a car with a machete. It's okay. But finding your way alive out of that situation, that's a little over the top. I can't take that. This is bridge too far.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah, that's celery in your tuna salad right there. Like, what are you doing?
Okay. Any other major parts or points you either want to talk about for this?
What's up with the vet?
The old man. Let's talk about the old man.
The vet. Was he the vet?
Yeah, the old man. I assumed he was the vet. He started talking about so it feels like I'm probably gonna butcher this. Dien Bien Phu. And I looked that up, and that's climactic confrontation of the first Indochina War. That was before Vietnam, like a year before Vietnam.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So the French actually is what pulled us into fucking Vietnam. So yeah, fuck the French.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, he kicked some ass himself, but there was that one part with the. I thought she was a mechanic based on her outfit, but she was a teacher or something, I guess. from downstairs, the zombie that comes up, and then he gets really rapey with a zombie,
Yeah.
and I'm like, is he getting ready to? And then like a couple minutes go by, and then he's got her shirt open, and I'm like, listen, I know you half of you are criminals, like big time criminals, half of you are cops. Surely one of you is going to be like, do what you got to do, but we're going to lock you in this thing, maybe, or I don't know.
He kept saying that he
was
didn't trust the old man. There's something wrong with the old man, but that never happened. He was just
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. And
but the attorney said he didn't trust the old man, but when it came to raping the zombie, he was all in.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Was now
birds of a feather.
the zombie part, that part, is that when Bola and his brother separated? I think that was when he's like, "You stop, you're better than that," or was that a different section of the movie?
That was a little bit after that because that was that the elevator? The
Yeah,
elevator
Yeah,
only went to the
they were
first floor, so
gonna
they had fought their way
separate.
down. Yep, yep.
Billa wasn't
uh,
getting his way.
yeah. That's, I
But if
mean,
they let the old man chop his leg off, maybe we would have had a happy ending.
So him and Carney left.
that guy looks like. Did you ever watch 976 Evil?
Mhm.
Me? Are you asking me if I? Hell yeah, I
Just
watched 976
just the world. So after the kid becomes possessed, it kind of looks like the possessed version of that kid, but as a older gentleman, it's weird to look at. I don't know. Anyways, um, but like they welcome the cops into their fold. We got to team up. All right, you're my brother. You get the fuck out of here. Like they just were very loose and fancy free with their group of bringing people and letting people go. That just the writing was not of my favorite, if I can be so French.
No, I think I complained about that a little bit ago while you were out for a second. How quickly they move from enemies to we got to team up. You don't even know the whole situation yet.
Yeah, you were here
Just
to
know
kill me.
at that point there's like 3 zombies, and you slowed us all down because you shot my dude in the leg.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't see that. But then I was also bothered at the very end when Aurora turned around and shot Ade because I thought, okay,
yeah, I agree.
in respect to Kasim, they're going to be like, okay, Kasim gave himself for us. He's the Jesus figure of this movie. He's the he is Caviezel. Caviezel.
Caviezel.
He is our Caviezel. Yeah. I'm sitting here furiously googling Jesus, and Jim Caviezel is not coming up. So obviously Google is wrong. But Kasim is basically the Jim Caviezel of the group. And then so I thought, okay, they're gonna be okay. She pulls the gun on him, and they talk a little bit, and I thought, okay, she's getting ready to put the gun down. Nope.
Yeah,
So
I didn't care. I didn't care for
and
much for the
really,
ending.
I didn't either. I didn't care for Aurora. She's a fucking bitch. Everybody's fucking life is ruined by her. For all I know, she started the zombie apocalypse. I don't have any evidence to the contrary.
Listen, not to sound sexist or anything, but good lord, she had 2 sharp objects that she could have killed 2 zombies at a time with for a good half of the movie. I'm talking about her nips. Good lord, Aurora. Put a jacket on if you're that cold, lady. I'm sorry. Shit's serious, and you're walking around like Jennifer Aniston on Friends in 1999. It was distracting.
Boobies to go with. She didn't have the Aniston boobies. The nips. I got him in the eye though.
Like she get that fight that went. I swear, part of the first season of Daredevil was inspired by her fight with that one zombie that took forever, and she was barely out of breath at the end of it. I'm like halfway through that, I would have collapsed and just heart exploded. Done. But and then
Okay, so
next time we see her, just the nipplies, big time. Aurora.
yeah, killing murder made her horny. During that fight, there was something that caught my attention, and I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, maybe you guys noticed it too. She like slams the zombie's head into the cabinet. She does all this shit, and then she starts going with the kidney punches, which I don't know what that's supposed to do to a zombie. But
they don't know.
Was the film sped up for that section? Because it looked like she threw like 10 punches in 5 seconds.
Maybe.
She's using some kind of Krav Maga, ancient Chinese fucking fighting technique.
They kept slowing the movie down in parts, and then it would go back to normal speed. So maybe it just felt like it sped up.
Okay, I'm glad I thought that was happening, and then I thought maybe this movie is just so good I'm having flashbacks.
Too much dramatic use, I feel like. Just stop slowing everything down.
Yeah. Even our FPS is melodramatic. The any other parts of the movie or aspects of the movie you want to talk about before we overall opinion, rate it, and get into Peele land?
I'm good to move on from this.
All right, let's go down the line. Dave, you start us, Jeff, and then I'll go last for this one.
A quality movie it is not, but a movie it is, and I was actually mostly entertained throughout the movie. And that is the primary driver of my score is was I entertained? I was entertained. So I'm gonna go. Wasn't prepared to rate this. I'm gonna go 6.5. I'm gonna go 6.5. That's fairly low. Wow. That's low on the Dave scale, but it's still above a 5. And like I said, I thought this was entertaining. A little bit bigger budget to do more with the gore and more with the effects, and maybe tighten up that story a little bit, But it's it showed a booby. You get an extra half a point.
So you want a 7 then? Jeff, what is your overall?
They had the opportunity, missed opportunity.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd give it a 5. I mean, like Dave said, it was a good story. Like the story was there. It just, they could have done more with it.
It wasn't maybe fully developed.
No, but I mean, it was entertaining.
All right.
6.5, a 5.
Fellas.
This is, are you going over an 8?
Right.
So they've not invented my number yet.
Oh.
That's all I can say. I can't fault the ambition of it, right? Because it is ambitious.
Yes.
There is some weird. We didn't even talk about the CGI. Like there was a couple moments of CGI gore that they'd put in, like when he's smashing his head. Like there was some CGI cuts on that. There was some CGI blood, but it was sparse enough that it didn't really affect my score. But I'm like, God damn you! You knock that shit off. But like,
don't need it. Practical effects.
I think that's also what hurts it the most is being so ambitious because like they're trying to pull off like a big Romero kind of thing going, and it just a lot of the writing just wasn't there. And I think if you could have cut some of the characters and tightened your story up a little bit, you'd had so much more money to put on the effects, anything really. But is it Doom Asylum levels bad? No, kind of. Yes, no, but sort of, but no. At least Doom Asylum had the goofy shit that it fell back on, not intentionally, but this didn't have that. So
I think partially intentionally, but yeah, but that's up for debate.
The 3 out of 10. I'm going 3 out of 10.
Oh my gosh! So
And the zombie makeup just was not for me. It was just like blood. Like every now and then, some of them would have some teeth. Sorry for flipping everybody off. That's just my pointer, man. Yeah. But we watched it. We watched the movie.
They didn't need to be gored up yet. Oh. Okay. This is not the place for ratings court. We're going to have a special episode where we have a ratings off with Judge Jeff, and we plead our case on a movie.
Interesting.
Let us know if you would like to see a Judge Jeff episode in the future.
Send in donations for a gavel and the gown. And we'll make that happen.
Robes?
Robe. That sounds way better.
Judge,
I like your gown.
Chris is going for the sexy gown, the sexy judge look. Like ball gown. Our judge is going to wear a ball gown.
I watch French zombie movies now, and I watch sexy judges on daytime TV. Arrest me. But don't arrest me because we're on the same side, right? We need to be on the same side. Never mind, fuck you, I'm out. We just did the Horde too. Let's pivot now, shall we? And get into... that's the second time Friends has been brought up tonight. And talk about...
This will be the Friends season.
Get Out. 2017, Jordan Peele, and a bunch of white people. Dave, start us off. This is your jam. Get in there and talk about it.
You know, Jordan Peele's my guy. Get Out is Jackie's favorite of the Peele movies.
There will be spoilers. Last warning. Here we go.
Will be spoilers. 6-year-old movie. If you need to be told that we might be spoiling a 6-year-old movie, sorry about your luck. Seek help. But Get Out. Xavier, man, get in this friend group. Let's start off with just the start. Dude walking down the street. It's the suburbs. He's on the phone. He's trying to find he's trying to find the address of his booty call or whatever, whoever he's looking for. The car comes by, creepy. I mean, even for a grown ass man, if I'm walking in those neighborhoods at night, I am scared. That is creepaholic.
That street.
Then the dude comes up behind him. Okay. The dude comes up and gets him anyway after he tries to turn around and kind of gets spooked with the fucking night helmet on. And it really looked to me like this took inspiration from another great horror movie, The People Under the Stairs, which is also in the future tied to Jordan Peele. But it just gave me that feel. I know it's not the GIMP hood, it's a night helmet, but it gave me that same vibe. You guys pick that vibe up, or what did you think about the open?
It kept making me think of like, what street is this from? I was like, is this Halloween? Because it's a Jordan Peele movie. I'm like, did he go to like where they did Halloween or Nightmare on Elm Street, like something like that? And did he? I figured you would lay that out if it was a fact.
I don't believe so. I can see that the dude is really a student of the fans, and okay, Kaylee, you might want to step in the chat and intervene here. But I could see him doing something like that. I could see him doing something like that. That would be on Peele, on brand for Jordan.
Yeah. It looked
So,
really familiar, but I guess streets don't look familiar. I mean, it's a street at night.
I think that's part of the point too, is to look familiar. It looks like just a typical suburb. But again, I mean, how often does horror play on that trope of, oh, it's the suburbs, everything's got this, it's nice, and there were lights. It's not like it was dark. It wasn't the slums. Bad things are still happening. So
And then next, I don't know anybody's name in this movie, which is par for the course.
okay, so Daniel Kaluuya is Chris. Remember that one. They named him after you.
Yeah, he's the only one that I remember. Like his girlfriend,
Okay.
Rose. Okay.
Rose,
So
yeah.
then we get both them. And just
Then,
the best friend. We need to talk about the best friend because I'm not sold on his whole position in the movie. I'm gonna need somebody to convince me that he belongs in this movie.
oh, yeah, Rod from TSA.
TSA.
And they're basically
TSA, motherfucker.
Yeah, yes. I loved me some Rod, man, and Jackie and Stella. He was one of their favorite characters. He's still funny, he's smart, and which is, I think, part of what Jordan Peele wanted to set out and show is show black characters in a different way than they're always shown. To have a black character be the athlete, that the
There's a
crack shot, the
follow.
badass.
Welcome.
That's a typical. That's not unusual to be seen. But to have a black character that is comic relief without being the toe tapper, shuck and jiver. Yes, sir, awesome. Like the old saying. So I feel like he's playing on that jester trope, but also he's smart. He doesn't miss a thing. When Rose calls him and it's like trying to bullshit him later in the movie. So I'm not trying to jump around, but I'm trying to focus on Rod here. Um, when she pulls that shit, he's like, "Oh yeah, you're right. You're confused. Yeah, maybe I'm confused too." Puts her on hold. Yeah, he ain't confused. He's like, "This bitch is fucking lying." I mean, Rod is the dude, man. The dude. He's right. He is right. And even the sex slave stuff is not far off because the one couple, they did want Chris's body to sex it up with the missus. So I liked Rod. I liked Rod. I liked really my first watch through. I liked Rose. I thought this poor girl, she don't even know the shit her family is into. I'm dumb. I must be dumb. Because I was in. I did not know like she was in on the whole thing. I When I rewatch it on a rewatch, some of her behavior is like, I see that like this is a little fishy.
All right.
The first time with the cop, when the cop pulled her over, um, after they hit the deer, the cop come up after the deer, and the cop wants to see Chris's ID. Honestly, my first watch through, I was like, this is good. She stepped in, and yeah, she has the privilege to be able to argue with the cop. As a black man, like you can't argue with a fucking cop. That's how you get shot.
Yeah.
And that's fucking real life. I mean, I'm sorry, not trying to be political here. We generally try to stay away from that shit, but it is not untrue. A young black man does not have the same luxury to argue with a cop that a pretty white woman does. A pretty wealthy white woman. It's she's gonna have more leeway here. But then on a second watch, and you think, oh, does she? did she keep the ID away from the cop because she's trying to avoid a potential paper trail later? It was that part of the plot, like not it wasn't set up for them to see the cop or anything, but she's trying to make sure like there's not his name on a report, so when he goes missing, the cop can say, "Oh, I saw him with the Armitage girl when they hit this deer. It's in my report," and then have a lead to look at. So she's keeping everything under the table. I don't know. Did Jeff approves of my comments? Thank you, Jeff. One weird thing I noticed. I watched it this week, and I've watched Nope more, and I've watched Us a lot more than I've watched Get Out. This might be, you know, 4 times I've watched Get Out this week. Not I watched it this week this many times, but this week I watched it once, and that was the third or fourth time I've watched it. And I like it, but it's just not. It's not got all the deepness. I feel like the hidden deepness that Us and Nope does. But did see it just caught my eye in Chris's apartment. He's got one photo that's like a crow taking off with some city buildings, and I really thought for a minute. I thought, is this a Batman reference? Like Chris is an orphan. Is that what this is? That what that's for? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Very likely, it's not. But that's kind of where my head went today or this week. So.
Yes, Jeff, do you agree with Dave?
I mean, sometimes he just sticks weird things in the movie that might give you some kind of insight. I mean, it's possible it mean something or mean absolutely nothing. You're just reading into everything.
That you're
You're looking for the
100%
deeper
right.
meaning,
And
so it's
if you see those interviews with Peele where he's talking about the movies and people are bringing fan theories up, and he's like, I never thought about that, but that is a good idea. I wish I had thought of that. And
don't deny
yes,
it. Just like,
sometimes
I
he's
don't
putting
know.
references in there that
Yeah.
have deep meaning, and sometimes he's just putting cool shit in. So.
I watching it this time. It was weird, like leading up to him finding out, because I felt like it made me enjoy it a little bit more than I did the first time, because I wasn't super into it the first time I watched it. This is only the second time I've watched it. But then there's one moment in there, they're having the party, right? And something's up, but you don't really know what. And is it just him, or is it him and Rose start to go upstairs, and then everybody downstairs like stops and the music stops? I'm like, that's so, I don't care for that. Like, that's too, you already know something's up. You don't need to stop the world to have them like look up. That was, I would say that was my biggest complaint of the movie, is that one stupid little shot.
I will give you that, because I do think how would Chris not notice that? He's not that far away. He's not even gone into a room. Like he's literally like 4 feet up the stairs, and it just goes from piece of carrots, piece of carrots, piece of carrots to. Oh, how do you not know that?
Yeah.
Or how do you not notice that? How do you not notice that? So I will give you that, Chris. I will give you that.
Not to shit on.
I will knock off 0.25 points for that.
Damn. I've never negatively impacted something so strongly before. Jeff, is there Jeff merchandise? Okay. Any other aspects of... I keep wanting to say Nope for some reason. Okay. I really just don't have a lot to say about Get Out. I mean, without I threw my
I know
back
we.
out and then watched the other half of it. I watched half of it the other day, and then I finished it literally today. And so I was so much ibuprofen coursing through me that I don't think it was. I'll have to maybe watch it
I,
again in the future to see if I can gather some kind
this
of.
might become your. This might become your Midsommar, where you didn't like it the first time. You waited a long time to watch it the second time. Now you're intrigued. Get a third, and this might become a go-to movie for you. But
I've not watched Midsummer
it
three
does
times.
not
Are you
hang
gonna make me watch that again this season?
up the seat. You may want to. You may want to.
Oh,
Now that you're
the
intrigued.
seeds
Now that
planted.
you're a little more intrigued.
I see.
Right. Right. It granted it Rose. Rose is a pretty girl. A little bit funny for me, to tell you the truth. Um, Midsommar has Florence Pugh. I'm a super huge Florence Pugh stan, and her nipples made an appearance at the Oscar, and it was great. Um, so this is clearly not a Midsommar situation, but it could be Chris's Midsommar. I think when we talked
I
about
don't know.
Us, I want to throw something past you, Jeff. I don't think Jeff was in the Us episode. Um,
No.
so Us, I feel like is very much about class. I know a lot of people have made the Jordan Peele out to be, oh, he's all about race and he wants to explore race and he's, you know, haters talking about, how he feels about race. We've told white stories for a long 100 years, and mostly white stories are black stories. Like most of these stories are everybody's stories, but you're representing them with white characters. Jordan Peele says, no, I want to tell stories for everybody, but I want to tell them through black characters. Well, clearly, everything that Jordan Peele does is going to have a little tinge of that race feel to it, even if it's not intentional. Us, I feel like wholly is not about race, though. It's about class, which is a different thing. Um, and I feel like the racism in Get Out, because clearly there is racism in Get Out from the Armitages and the wealthy elite, and maybe from the cop too. But I do feel like it is not about hate them black people race. It's not. That's not what the race of Get Out is. Get Out is more preaching against the liberal racism, um, the gentrification or the stealing of culture. It's the fetishization of black culture, which we absolutely have seen. Like hip hop started out black, rock and roll started out as a black thing, and it got Elvis and others kind of made it into a white thing. Then you had hip hop and rap, and then that has been subverted. Fucking McDonald's doesn't have a commercial without a little rap in it, So this has been co-opted. So much of black culture has been co-opted for exactly what it was supposed to be about. Hip hop and rap were supposed to be, against the man, and so that is the type of racism that's a little more subtle than what hate KKK in your face racism is about. So, um, I just feel that. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way. Uh, but I think it is horrifying to think that somebody could do this to you and just steal your life. Let me ask you, Chris, specifically,
I thought you
and
was
Jeff
asking.
specifically.
I thought you was asking Jeff a question.
I don't know. I don't know where I went with it. I just kept going off the rails. I do want to ask you both of you this question, and I'll ask Jeff, Chris, and OXB. Pay attention here, kid. Pay attention here, guy. Um, what did you think of the hypnosis scene and the imagery of the sunken place? And it presented himself as this darkness. He's floating in the darkness of the TV screen, kind of far away and kind of numbed. Um, what did you think of that in imagery? Just that part.
Oh, I thought you were asking Chris. I'm so confused.
I'm asking all. I'm asking everybody. I'm asking everybody. Chris, anyone want to go first?
I'll let Jeff go. His biggest fan is here, so we need to.
Yes.
Jeff, how did you feel about that? What'd you think?
The imagery of the sunken place that we're
Yes.
talking about.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. The imagery of the second place.
That's cool. It's like
What did you think of that?
it's just like he's, you know, falling back inside his head, that there's the window. He can see out, but he can't do anything. He can't move, speak. It's pretty. I thought it was pretty powerful kind of concept.
Chris, what did you think about that? Just that thing, the imagery of the sunken place and how they did that.
I mean, it's there. It was in the movie.
Man, I thought it was so. I thought it was so good. It's such a good metaphor for what was going on, and you know, he's trapped and he's stuck in his own head. He's a passive viewer at that time, so like even the image looks like a far off TV. And does everybody's image look that way, or is this because of his connection to that? And that's the story he was telling about his mom. Like, I have questions about this. Um, but, and I thought the imagery of this was so powerful, um, and horrifying. It's not. This isn't a killer coming after you where you're trying to get away, even if you don't think you can. He can't do anything. He's just there in the void. Um, and he's already got to be so emotional because he's telling the story about his mom and how he did nothing. What do you? He's a fucking kid. What did you expect him to do? So
Answer me. How did he get the? Was it cotton? Like the lining of the recliner into his ears.
so okay. Let's do this. I'm going to try to move my camera here and do a little experiment. So let's see how this goes.
Your background's really eating your entire body right now.
Okay, let me cut out the background. Okay. So if my hand is here and I'm picking at the cotton, I feel like I could get me. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, but your whole chair came up with you though. He's in like
It
a.
did. The chair didn't move. Yeah. No, I could.
I see the chair moving.
It can't only because it can't not move. But I don't feel like if it was a chair that didn't move, it's okay. Even if the chair moves, my hand is going to my ear. Put your hands on the arm of your chair.
There ain't no way for me.
You can't touch your damn ear. Look at this. Look how easy I can touch.
No.
You're tied at the wrist.
I'm also injured, so I can't.
Okay.
Go too far.
It was a nice run here on the Horror House podcast.
He was in a company.
Yeah, no, I think it's all good.
Lost the feed. Oh, we're back.
Oh, there we go. We're back.
Dave was firing us, so I just we went.
Oh. What?
This podcast is said good day.
All right.
This is a democracy, Xavier.
It's a what? A Jeffocracy?
The Jeffocracy.
Oh no. You have to pay for more solo Jeff Cam now. That's just the way it is. Or wait it out. You never know. You never know when it could be a solo Jeff Cam. No, it's Dave. It's Dave.
5 years, 5 seasons. 5 seasons. We have put 5 seasons into this. And 3 episodes into season 6, it's Jeff Mania. We knew it was coming, Chris. Every Jeff episode, everyone's like, yeah, more Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, what did we do? Was it The Fly we did before the menu? There was one we were joking with you. We weren't really even joking, but like, we had more people watch the episodes with Jeff or listen to them. And
those were pre-video days. They didn't even get to see your handsome face.
And I mean, oh no! See, if you weren't paying attention to that Jeff Cam, you missed it. They were. All right.
I am currently designing a T-shirt design for us. So Xavier, follow and pay attention. We'll have a T-shirt coming out soon. Maybe, possibly.
Worn by Jeff.
Yeah.
Depending
Maybe
on
Jeff. Yeah.
depending on the price.
Right, and an extra $5, and Jeff wears it. Oh, before we send it to you.
It has to be just Jeff, though.
We can't all 3 squeeze into the same shirt at the same time before you don't want that?
How much? All right, let's finish talking about Get Out. I'm so off kilter where we were at now.
Okay, we've covered liberal racism, we covered the sunken place, and we demonstrated in a court of law, in a court of bird law, we demonstrated that yes, he could get the cotton into his ears.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
The only thing I don't buy about the cotton in the ears is it really that fucking effective? Because I just don't see it being that fucking effective. That like something you can't hear enough, so they can't even hypnotize you. But
I don't see it holding much unless it had to do with the frequency of the, and even then I fuck if I know. Any final? There's really not any gore in it either. I mean, there's a couple moments towards the end when they're starting the surgery that there's some kind of a little bit of slicing. But
you get the off-camera stuff, so obviously it's not on-camera gore. But when he cue balls the fucking kid, the brother, what was his name? Jeremy.
UFC Boston.
Yeah, wannabe UFC. But he cue balls that kid a couple times, and he deer antlers dear old dad. So
yeah, I forgot about the deer antlers. Yeah.
And
so what do you guys happens to
really Walter when Walter turns the gun on himself at the end and fucking you don't get the gore, it cuts.
What do you think happens to the rich guy that was buying Chris? Just lays there till he dies, or what do you reckon?
Didn't they?
Did they kill him?
I mean, I think they just left him there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to die. Just going to leave him there to die. What is he going to do?
I mean, he's already blind. Like, what's?
He's blind. I don't know how he's going to. Was the house on fire? I feel like he's.
Oh yeah, on fire, so. Yeah. That when the dad knocked something over. That was part of the alternate ending. Did you see the other ending that is out there?
Yes.
I'm having deja vu because Jeff asked this pre-show.
Oh, really?
I have not seen it, but I had forgot about it. But Jeff, I was like, "What is it?" And Jeff mentioned it. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I do remember hearing that. I've not seen it." And really, I think I don't have a desire to. Maybe a little bit of a curiosity, but I think I like the ending the way it is. I thought it was great.
Right.
It was great. Bitch is dead. Rose is dead. She's gonna bleed to death right there too. So I think she may even be dead before he gets in the car. So
They just drove off. So I mean,
yeah, fuck her. Like fuck them. I'm not. I don't want to be here when the cops get here. I'm a white guy. I don't want to be there when the cops get there.
I'll be the voice of dissent yet again. I didn't like the ending. It's just there wasn't enough. It just I'm TSA. I completely also remembering the first time that I watched it. I thought the friend died, so I don't even know what I'm thinking of. So watching it this time,
You
I'm like, that
really
guy
got
didn't
Mandela
die.
effect.
But yeah, like he's
You
like, I'm
really got
TSA,
Mandela
and then
effect.
they're off to the races. I'm like, that's the end of this movie. So in a way, I kind of like the alternate one better, even though it's kind of yeah, kind of controversial. Maybe I don't know. It's just yeah, all of that for that ending. It didn't feel like a payoff to me or a downer.
Oh,
It just felt like I didn't get it much out of it.
Jordan Peele is executive producing the new People Under the Stairs, right?
If you say yes, we can make that happen.
I believe so. People Under the Stairs beer because IMDb doing right now. It's
People Under
from
the Steers. That's a different kind of a movie,
people.
Dave.
So I know we didn't bring it up. I'm going to backtrack to the Horde for just a second. Um, I think the dude who played Kasim was in a movie called um, My Donkey, My Lover, and I. And that the first time I read it as My Donkey, My Lover, and I. I don't think it's meant to be that way.
Okay.
But it is being they are making a remake of People Under the Stairs, and I'm not finding it right now. But I think Monkey Paw, which is Jordan Peele's company, is involved, and I think Jordan is executive producing. I don't think he's directing. At first, I was hoping he was directing.
Remember when you had me watch a Jordan Peele movie, and then we
That
watched
turned out
another?
not to be a Jordan Peele.
We watched Us, and you're like, also watch the trailer for this movie. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch the whole movie. It didn't have
Yep.
nothing to do with Jordan Peele.
Antebellum.
Antebellum.
That was Antebellum.
Yep. I mean, it could have been. It
Yeah,
could have. It could have. But it also didn't.
that's my bad.
Well,
I actually watched. I watched Spell this week too because I wanted to watch another movie told through that lens of the African American experience. As all black guys own planes and crash in the hills of West Virginia and get kidnapped by voodoo women. So I think that's a pretty universal experience.
I we can make it so.
Or technical difficulties. Man, this is the week. This is the week.
So let's get to our overall opinions. Jeff, since you picked
I
Get
will go
Out.
last. Yes.
Jeff will go last, or who's going last? Who's going first?
I'll go last. I'll go last.
Okay, Jeff, do you want to go first, middle, or no?
I'll go middle. It's fine.
All right. So
Damn it.
now Negative Boy is going first. Oh,
It's good. We end on a high note.
we'll try it like this. We'll cut to the solo cams for the overall opinions. See how that goes. All right. Somebody snap their fingers for me as we switch. I didn't hear it, but I felt it in my soul. I get 5 out of 10.
Solo in 3, 2, 1.
I still don't pick up the
5
Chris
out
very
of
good.
10.
Yeah, 5 out of 10. It just is not for me. Like, there's some moments in it that are like cool horror stuff. But to me, this feels kind of more like some kind of a Twilight Zone kind of an episode more than a movie, really. Not my
Also
favorite.
tied to
I
Jordan
don't
Peele.
hate it. It's fine. I can understand why some people really like it. So there's that 5 out of 10. Unfortunately, who's doing better? Jeff, do better.
Better. I would give it an 8. I love the story. It was a good pick. Um, I felt like it was a combination of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and Stepford Wives, because it's got the
Okay.
whole thing where she's bringing the black boyfriend to the family, and it didn't go, as bad as Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, but in the whole Stepford Wives, where the black people are basically being mind controlled, or was what you feel like it's at the beginning.
Okay.
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 Okay. That's an interesting take, Jeff. I appreciate that take.
And finally, Dave, can you beat a 8? Can you go lower than a 5 or beat a 8? Where are you sitting?
Price is right. All right. Listen up, kids. Jordan Peele is a cinematic genius of this time. But his first movie really didn't have all the depth. I feel like this was a case where his first movie, maybe he didn't have quite as much free reign, whether that was a studio telling him, like reining him in a little bit, or if it was him feeling like he had to be more reserved until he established himself and then he could go full bore. Because us, full on horror goodness. Um, Nope is a really great movie. It's got that sci-fi. It's got some horror. I love Nope as a movie. And Get Out is a good horror movie, but it doesn't quite hold up to the other two, especially Us. Again, that's that's my jam. That's my Jordan Peele jam. So I'm gonna give Get Out. I'm gonna say a 7.5. I think I'm going to
Oh
surprise you
my
guys by
god. Oh
7.5.
my god.
I stand by. I've always said that this is not my favorite of the Jordan Peele movies. It beats Antebellum, which is
Man.
the Jordan Peele movie that's not a Jordan Peele movie. Um, but it is a good movie. 7.5 is good. Remember, season 5, Dave turned over a new leaf and judges movies a little bit harder than he used to. So don't put this 7.5 up against like something I called a 7.5 in the first season, because there ain't no comparison. This is probably a first season 8.5 or 9.
That's what I was
This is
expecting.
yeah yeah this is not first season anymore. Not a rookie, damn it. A
If
seasoned
I'm in a
vet. I'm a
bad mood,
grizzled.
it affects my rating. If I'm pissed off or if I'm sick, like it's down like at least 4 points from Jump Street.
I wouldn't say
Um,
4. I was thinking about this
oh,
today. I was thinking about this today on the drive home from work. Chris is very much brutally honest with his ratings, and I'm more apologetically honest, if that's the thing.
now
So
where
uh,
does Jeff sit, or do we need more time with Jeff's ratings to
I
really?
think we need to Jeff needs to simmer, and we'll see where he ends up. So, but right now with Jeff at an 8 and me at a 7.5, clearly we're on the right side of history here, Chris.
It had social commentary. It didn't have the depth like
Very
you're
much.
saying. Like I've seen Nope. I haven't watched Us yet, but like Nope just had so much in there. But this had the social commentary to it. So I mean,
Yep. Yep. And that's a plus for me. That's a plus.
right?
I always like movies that make me think a little bit. So, um, Haley, make him watch Us, and we'll go from there.
And I think that about does it for this week in the horror house. We don't know what we're
Any
watching next week. We don't know if we will watch something next week or if we'll do more news and just chit chat. Maybe we'll do a real life horror thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And but until then, uh,
I've
here's
been doing
Jeff.
some research on some cryptids, Chris. I've been doing some research on some cryptids. Oh,
Does that mean cryptids are coming back this season? Like
I'm ready to bring
cryptids
them back.
4,
And
I think.
guys, Point Pleasant is like a 5-hour drive. We can make that air and back in a day.
Oh, maybe. I'm intrigued, if nothing else. Go to the TNT fields or whatever they're called.
Mhm. We were almost down to Point Pleasant last weekend, and before we got on 50 and came back, and when we turned around and started headed north, I took over driving, and we drove from there in about the middle of West Virginia all the way back home without stopping.
Hmm.
So we can do this.
Well, we will see what happens. If Xavier Barrett wants to fund outing to West Virginia, he's just got to let us know.
Yeah, Xavier, you can be the first Patreon at the founder tier.
Then you'll know exactly where
Patreon.
Jeff's at. But that's it. That's it for
This
this
may not
week.
be a good idea. Yeah, we need to start the Patreon to fund Jeff's security detail.
This is true. It's seeming pretty true. Uh, but we will be back in 1 week for more horror and more Jeff and Dave
Nice.
and me,
Oh,
and then all three of us. That's just the way it is. But final words, fellas, before we're done. Whatever you want to say.
have the day, have the night you deserve.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Ah,
Say bye one more time to Jeff.
Bye, Jeff.
nailed it.
Laughing thing.
Nailed it.